this morning. Slept okay last night, not bad. Very damp weather at the moment, very foggy, in fact, up here. And it's that type of thing where either you feel a little bit chilly for a moment, or you feel like the minimal amount of quilt that you have on top of you is too much, and you kind of want to pull it off, so you kind of always flip and flop in between that. I had to get up once in the night, heard fireworks going off for 4th of July. Every now and then you'd hear one quite late in the night, but not that bad. We didn't see anything, and we didn't know where the trail was that takes you to the outlook that might have allowed us to view them. And yeah, just packing up now. I've got the stuff ready to throw in my pack. It's 6:34. The woman were up a little bit earlier, moving around, like 5:30ish, and yeah, we'll be out of here probably in the next half hour, 45 minutes maximum. Yeah, I'm going into town to get some stuff for food, and I'm not sure if it's the 13-mile or 14-mile, whatever, shelter, or the one at more like 18, 19 miles that I'll go to. It all depends on how long I'm have to get off trail to go to the Walmart and Subway, if they have one there, to have lunch. And how much rain it is. I mean, it's really foggy right now. It may not really hardly rain at all. I just might burn off in time and, you know, do the same thing in the evening where it rains about 4 o'clock. Who knows? I just hope that at a shelter or near one by that point, so I can get out of the wet clothes and get protected. And yeah, it's Friday, so I've got probably 2 more days worth of so rainy weather before we go back to sunny again. So going to be a bit of elevation change today. I have to definitely go down an incline to get down to the town. I have to come out of the town, and maybe a couple other zigzags along the way. But so I'll be sweaty, and depending on the terrain, it's boggy, so my feet will be wet for sure. Other than that, feeling okay. So guess we'll be getting on to it. Clinton, and like I'm walking out. It's not a very big town. More buildings here, and I'm like back on the trail. I think at one point, very shortly, I'll be coming to a gap or intersection or something on the highway where I can walk off trail to the Walmart. And of course, part of the problem is the threat of rain and using my phone when it's wet, sweaty. One more good use of this hat, the front of it, I can use to wipe down the front of the screen. That seems to work well, that blue cloth there, microfiber. It doesn't do jack. At least when it comes to my phone. So, back on the trail. Until I come out somewhere, I'll have to go back to Gut Hook. And when I do almost a 180, apparently, that is where I go off trail. Oop. See a white blaze over there. Already have been. There's a blue blaze there. White blaze here. I guess I better take a look at Gut Hook and make sure that I'm not going to miss my turnoff. Talk to you later. Well, it's been about 20 minutes. I've got less than that probably, less than 10 minutes to Walmart. See, they have a Five Guys, and I've heard about them. So I have to go to Walmart, carry my stuff over to Five Guys. I'm walking along the highway, by the way. And get rid of the excess garbage, the food I'm getting, and put it in my food bag. Hopefully, I can do that there. And walk back the mile and continue on uphill. Taller now, but all went in. No, it's not a kill. A big Cabela store. I hear they will give you a shuttle ride back to the AT, but I need a bug net for all of those little nasty, seems like keep buzzing in front of my eyes and in my ears like I had yesterday. Quite maddening. So you get one of those and hopefully a ride.
Turn around and I can drop you right off the corner here, then you'll be heading right back that way.
Yeah, I recognize it. Kind of familiar. Unfortunately, it's familiar. although, let's say, I got in line for the customer service, and it was about 15 minutes before I got to the lady who tells me, oh, I just had to talk to the guy at the door, who I should have just walked up and asked the guy at the door. I was going to, but I didn't. Anyway, I mean, we're talking about a half an hour walk, a little bit more, because Cabela's is a little bit further down the road. And then when he gives me a ride back, unfortunately, because of issues with vandalism and stuff, they can't go into the parking lot where I started walking from the down the highway. So now I'm back here and I have to redo probably 500 yards, I guess. And I'll go underneath the highway again and just continue on rather than going up. So yeah, I've got at Cabela's I got bug net for no-see-ums, which apparently is a really fine mesh and harder to see out of, but those are the type of bugs that I'm having a problem with. And it'll be nice, hopefully, when they're really bugging me, to be able to throw it on. But I'm hoping that my breath doesn't just make my whole face warm from breathing out, huffing and puffing up a hill or something. But for that worst case scenario, I might even need it today. Anyway, I packed it away in my bathroom bag that's on the outside of the pack on the side, so I can always get it. Oh, there's a rabbit. Missed him. I also got a open air something mac and cheese. It was like $8, and I thought, okay, well, probably a good price for 800 and some calories. So I grabbed that and just threw it on the top of my food bag in the pack. So now I've got 3 freeze-dried. I've got the 4 rice sides and potatoes. I also, if you can saw from the video, I said my burping from the pop. I got another tuna. This one was the hot wings, barbecue hot wings or something, just to try it. I got some M&Ms and mixed those with, what was the other thing I got? Was it raisins? No. Gee, oh, some sour candy, gummy worms type of thing. And oh, those are, okay, the dessert treats. And then I got wraps. I got 10 more. So now I've got probably like 18. Won't need any of those for a while. That would go with the Nutella and the tuna. I'll have to make a point of eating 1 or 2 of those every day. A bag of Walmart brand almonds. They didn't look very salted. That might be an issue. And more cheese sticks. I bought a box of Cliff Bars, 6-pack. I wish they did have a multi-pack, and they did, but it was like 20 little bars, I guess, like a variety pack. It wasn't even a variety, it was all the same. Anyway, these were peanut butter, chocolate chip peanut crunch, I think. And I still have a few lower bars left there. So I'll have that. And I got other stuff you saw in the video. Anyway, I think I'm okay for a week if I want. And yeah, I went to the Five Guys hamburger. I think I'd been there once before, in hindsight. I ordered the double bacon cheeseburger and a large drink, and it was definitely more than I would have spent at the Chinese buffet. So maybe I should have gone to the Chinese buffet. I could have had all the Kung Pao chicken I wanted. Lesson learned. Anyway, it made for the day. Now it's 2 o'clock on the dot right now. So I spent 2 hours on a side trip and having to redo a couple of day hikers behind, or just people out for a walk. And yeah, I'll do either the 4 miles, it's probably gonna rain though, or I'll do the 8 or 9, I think. We'll see when I get up to the top of the hill how I feel. It's just up and down a bit once I even get to the top. And I don't know what the terrain is like. Coming down, it was pretty steep. Pretty steep. It was very dangerous, sliding almost. So, past the railroad yard, you hear the trains dinging there, and through the little town. And here I go again. So, I'll probably talk to you at the top of the hill. You pack everything and then you find that you have a lot of stuff you don't need. And you send it home.
Yeah, sure.
And
That's what the guy told me. The book I read was like that as well.
yeah, and you lose a lot of weight.
Oh, yeah.
I've lost 35 pounds,
Is that right?
which is the weight of my whole pack, or more than the pack. Get to reverse view. So I'll talk while I walk down the road here. When I was in Walmart, just coming in, a guy walked in behind me, started talking to me about the AT and how wonderful it is, and the fact that I'm a through hiker from Georgia and everything. It was just amazing, and he had me in awe and respect of my accomplishment, and he talked about his experiences at camping, and so we had probably a 10-minute conversation, at least, maybe 15. And then when I would bump into him in the aisle, he'd start talking to me again. And that went on. Then when I finally got out of there and went to Five Guys, I think it said it was okay, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I walked over to Calaveras, and when I was in line for customer service to find out about the shuttle, the guy behind me starts talking to me about the AT. He's all in respect and about my accomplishment, how far I've gone, and all this stuff. And it's like, well, not quite a rock star, but I was the only one walking around in the store with a backpack on. And there was also a guy who started talking to me. I could smell alcohol in his breath, and it was like around noon, so take that what you will. And I started talking about the hat I had on, and said that it was for Penn State. I guess the Cougars or something like that. I'm gonna sneeze here, hang on. And anyway, he said the inside joke for, excuse me, for people from Penn State is that they would call that hat the state pen hat. And they said that's because everything they ever handed in when you're in the college or university there was last name first, first name last. Hence, Penn State would be the state pen hat. So I just thought it was a Cougar or something like that, and then maybe after the car model or something like that. I bought the trucker stop, so I wasn't expecting anything. There was a Pennsylvania state hat with the shape of the state and stuff like that written on it. I didn't want that. So I thought this was pretty generic. But anyway, now I know the rest of the story. And because of the 3 hours I spent on that side trip, I'm not going to make it to the Eckhart shelter. It's like another 8 miles or something like that. And I wouldn't get there until like 8:30, or who knows, something like that. So I'm doing a very short day. I think this is like 14 miles on the day. And that would be at, I can't remember what it's called, the something furnished shelter. Anyway, you'll see when I get there. Should be coming up to it fairly soon.
Copperheads aren't too aggressive, and they're not very big, so they're striking distances.
Well, oh, there's the one hiker there. I can't remember, his name is Promo something like that. It was something like a marketing name, as I recall. He was at the Blackburn, something around the shelter with K9 and I. He was the guy that wanted to go to Washington, D.C. on the train, and left like at 5:30 to get there. Anyway, he made it. He was in D.C. for like 3 days, and he came back. And he said, "Oh, I'm rolling," or something like that when they saw me. And I go, "Well, I don't know. Took a 0, and today was a short day," and so I don't know what he meant by that. Anyway, all the people that were at the shelter, all the guys shirtless, some women not shirtless, just looked a little too of a vibe I wasn't too keen on. So I decided to come here, set up my tent down near the stream. A lot of bugs and flies around, but you know, that's the way it was on the walk here. Of course, when I got to here, there was the guy with the truck who I thought was part of the group or something. Anyway, he was handing out drinks, trail magic. So I had a couple iced tea, drank them down pretty quick. So it was like about a liter, just what I needed. I thanked him, and anyway, a girl had come down here looking for camping spots and mentioned some across the creek that were better, and I thought, well, maybe. But this one, I think, suited me. It was more lit, not one big tree above it, and a couple dead ones. So I hope there's no big windstorm. Yeah, I'm gonna be camping tonight. There's still blue sky and that, but the clouds. So I don't know if it's gonna rain. There's a dark feeling vibe to the sky over there, and I can hear people. I followed a path out, and it came out to one of the roads that lead us there. I guess it's like a park, and it just happened to be that there's a shelter on the road, and has a lock gate, so people just can't drive in. But maybe that's why those people are there. And anyway, Promo went down to set up a hammock kind of closer to the trail. So about a tenth of a mile away from the trail. I can just, I think, see the building from here through the trees. And I'm kind of in the other direction. So at some point I'll get up and walk over there. There's a porta potty. I guess it's the privy. And just water down the stream here, which I can use. I've got about a liter left, so I'll fill up my water bladder. I'll throw on the fly and find a suitable tree for a bear hang somewhere around here, so I don't have to worry about that. And make something to eat. It's 5 o'clock right now, so not a bad time. Pick up some heavy things to eat, and pitter patter, let's get at her. I think that's it for now. Well, that bear hang went okay. It's definitely tall enough. And I got it on the first throw. It's always good when you're recording it to have that happen. Yeah, so now I'll just I think I'll merge my 2 water bottles into one, because they both have electrolytes, although I think they're 2 different flavors. Maybe I'll just empty one into my body, and then I will take the cup and bladder and fill the bladder, because the bladder can't be filled with this little stream. I'll turn around there. You see the little stream here? It's a little pool, but it's not such that I can inflate or fill the entire bladder. It only gets like less than a quarter full, so I'll need that cup to just fill it manually. And then I'll have one electrolyte, one non-electrolyte water. I can brush my teeth, and then I can add the electrolyte. I'm not sure what the trail is tomorrow morning. Probably uphill, but once I crawl into the tent, it's only 6 o'clock right now, crawl in the tent and start going through the shelters and terrain coming up, because I really have no idea. I haven't seen that any further than the Eckhart shelter, which is another 9 miles, and that's too close. So yeah, other than that, everything looks okay. Sky just overcast. It may or may not rain. Who knows? I'll be prepared for it as long as it's not raining when I get up, and I can dry the tent out with the microfiber cloth at least as much as I can. Tear down and push on before it begins to rain again. The shuttle driver said tomorrow will be like today, so it may be very foggy, cloudy like it was this morning, but you know, it broke out to be sunny there for a while when I was going up the mountain, leaving town, and until probably an hour ago, yeah, the sun was out, but no, it's that haze and overcast over there, and so it may amount to nothing. So I'll talk to you later. Well, 7:15. I'm just laying on the bed here. I could have sworn it was raining, and now it seems to have stopped. And yet there are only a few sprinkles on my tent. I don't know if the tree above me is protecting me from the bulk of the rain, and it will continue to come down, but yeah, it looks like the evening showers have begun. I've also been looking at Guthook and found that there looks like there's only about 4 days worth of Pennsylvania left. Looking at my notes here, let's see, I have a 17-mile day tomorrow, followed by another 17-mile day, followed by a 20-mile day, maybe, and that will take me to a motel where I can hopefully upload the videos that have been backlogged on my phone here. We'll have to see. I mean, it's just a gamble. I might end up, instead of doing the 20, only do 16 to a shelter, and then 4 into the motel that morning. That will give me the entire day potentially to upload, and then I won't have to zero the next day, which would save me money and give me maximum flexibility. And then after that, I've indicated a 20-mile day again, but somewhere around here is going to be a really horrible section of rock, apparently, that is like 6 miles long, and you will be crawling through it at like 1 mile an hour. So yeah, I'm saying 17 miles, and I'm saying 20, but yeah, I'm sure it's raining right now. A lot more noise, but the tent isn't being hit yet. After the vestibule closed. Anyway, so we'll have to see. So either it's just 4 more days of Pennsylvania, or let's say it's 5 or 6 at the most, depending how long I'm at the motel, which is great, because then I'm done with the second longest state and can load the next map, which I don't know what it is offhand, because I didn't look. But yeah, moving on to another state. That's good news. Anyway, I feel like I'm naked here, although I do have my underwear on. I was checking out my toes after taking a sock off, and my little pinky had a little rubbing to almost be bloody on the top. So I guess there was some dirt in my sock from walking through muddy dirt lately, and I guess last night I didn't take off my socks, so I didn't really notice. Plus, they're compression socks, these ones, and unfortunately that one developed a hole. So, I do have other socks, the NGG, the ones with the toes built into them, so I can put them on. Probably continue with these tomorrow. I'm not sure, I can't remember which one it was that had the hole, the one that has the wrap around my leg, or the one that didn't. Anyway, here's a look at my legs and feet for your enjoyment. This is the one with the wrap on it right now. You can see it's kind of dirty from walking through the mud a couple days now. So I will probably remove it once I get out of Pennsylvania. It still kind of hurts. Not hurts, but I still feel it there. So maybe it's good that I leave it on. And as for my other foot, you can see on the pinky there, I applied some athletic tape. Hopefully that will stick and apply that friction buffer and not cause a problem by falling off and becoming more of a problem in the sock. Okay, definitely raining now. Definitely getting hit on the fly, and vestibules are closed, and probably in 15-20 minutes I can open that vestibule and get some more circulation in here so I don't have condensation all under the tent. Thankfully I finally rigged it up right so that the no seam is not touching the fly, but doesn't mean that when I take the fly off it doesn't touch. Anyway, talk to you later. Well, it's been fun. I mean, it died down, the rain died down to nothing for a while, and it's just building up again, but man, there were a couple cracks of thunder. Ugh. Don't get thunder in Victoria. And there were a couple good ones that were not that close, but close. I'm trying to see if I can catch one. Did you hear that? I thought I saw lightning quite a while after I heard the thunder. Still pretty bright out. Coming down hard now. Thunder. Okay, I can kind of feel raindrops on my right arm. Kind of wondering where they're coming from. My leg. Raindrop is coming from. Like it coming through the silicone? Or through the fly? So I'm finding that the problem is at the bathtub at this end. There's a lot of spray coming underneath the tent fly and coming through the mesh here a bit. Oh, there's lightning. The thunder. There we go. So anyway, the fly can be pitched with extra stakes so that they pitch out further away from the bathtub. And I imagine that that would have been perfect here. But how do you know how bad the rain's going to be? I wasn't expecting hard rain, but evidently I've got it. And I did take my shirt, the one I'm not wearing, and hung on a clothesline out there, thinking that even if it did rain, it would just get rinsed and maybe by morning it would be a lot drier. But yeah, I'm getting a fair amount of spray here, more than I would like, but I don't expect it's going to get any harder rain. And I'm on a little bit of a slope. It's getting near 8 o'clock. Late time for me. So, not really wet in here. Just I can feel that spray coming through the screen. Anyway, lesson learned. Well, have I learned a lesson or not? Hard to say. But enjoy the thunder.